Kristopher Lorren here. We're looking at Paragould, Arkansas, which is located in Greene County, Arkansas, my hometown. And we're going to do a threat and hazard identification and risk assessment to enhance or improve community resilience. Okay, this is a picture here of the local historical marker, which was the old Paragould courthouse. Okay, so here we have the potential for damage of tornadoes. Okay, but however, tornadoes are not the primary damage, although they do cause a lot of damage. Flooding is the number one susceptible natural disaster in this area, and it threatens our infrastructure and our residents. As you can see here, this was a picture of an area locally that was destroyed due to flooding after the storms, and it was primarily the storms that did most of the flooding. Now, Paragould has approximately 30,000 people, and due to the low amount of people there, it also has the potential for other risks, which are going to be the banks and the car dealerships, because that's where the economy thrives. And so first, let's stick to this natural disaster. We had Governor Sanders come in and ask for funding for President Trump, and his answer kind of is like, let's allow each state to take care of itself, okay? Then we have pictures here of the actual flooding of a farm home, and we have pictures of the flooding on a street here. So we're going to move on with the banks and the car dealerships. So the transportation that's linked to the arrival of vehicle parts, and also the interconnectedness of economic activities, make it potential for criminal exploitation through hacking and identity theft. And these are becoming very common as these sophisticated, significant risk to critical infrastructure like banking institutions is the industrial edge of computing and information systems that create these vulnerabilities that can be exploited through cyber attacks. And we all remember the 2021 Colonial Pipeline incident. So these common fraud scams, they target banks and bank accounts, and there's a prevention method though there's prevention methods that we can use to reduce or lower these amount of crimes that are committed against data privacy by mitigating potential cyber risk. So first, let's look here. We have also the potential for drugs to come in, drug trafficking, bank robbery, the aggressiveness of these human actions. So we have auto bodies, auto sales, battery parts in warehouses. So these parts that come in through these auto sales, it's where they hide the drugs, and it's a significant threat. It can cause the city to be overrun with crime because people are addicted to drugs, and it causes limited financial resources because the resources begin to go into crime instead of the local economy. So we have to have security measures put in place, and here's a good illustration of that. So here we have the bank. We've got the trees for a criminal to hide behind. We've got these squares here for lighting and security surveillance. So these technological upgrades are tailored for surveillance systems for local businesses, and it's an essential risk mitigation. Again, here is that First National Bank that we've seen earlier. Well, again, we've got woods in the background, and we need these lights and these surveillance systems as a strategy to promote the social capital and public education campaigns to improve the preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery efforts. There also must be clear and consistent communications By understanding these threats and hazards, Paragould can strategically invest in these areas. Now let's go back to the flooding. So we have who goes to the levees of this St. Francis River. It's circled here, and here's some land that's owned by myself. It's farming land, and what happens is he owns about 5,000 acres of land, and he comes in and he breaks a levee and allows that flooded water to come in. Even though we need the water for our rice, it doesn't just affect us, it affects everyone around us, and that's where the problem comes in. So these lower socioeconomic status individuals and families are affected by these choices of human disasters to break these levees and allow the flooding and control the flooding. So again, here we have another picture of the Focus Bank and the need for what? These surveillance cameras. Let's light up these neighborhoods and let's let these criminals know that they are being watched. Let's also form the crime watch community where they see signs. They're like, oh, there's people watching. Here we have the Greene County Emergency Management Team coming together as one. And I just want to say thank you to our Greene County Emergency Management Team. Y'all do great work. And we have so we need this consistent, clear, and informed communication strategies to have an effective response in emergencies. And here, last but not least, is a picture of Paragould, Arkansas, outlined. Kristopher Lorren signing out. I appreciate your time and consideration in this threat and hazard identification, risk, and assessment, or THIRA, for Paragould, Arkansas in Greene County. Again, thank you.